Llama rocking the default thatch, level 100, you already know. But Sandstorm on the Artemis. Interesting. How do you feel about that? Yeah, 100% I agree. If he's got that Scythe Legend, he's good to go. And as we say, that first weapon he grabs is the Scythe. Although Llama winning that first neutral engagement there with the blasters, landing that dare, getting that Sair, falling back, getting those reverse Sairs, kind of building up this damage, trading back a bit and forth. Not too bad of a start.
Not too bad of a start at all. Both players just looking for an opening, looking to start something here. I really like how Sandstorm is fishing for these nairs, these Sairs, trying to get those bread and butter combos started.
Nice, Llama with these edge guards, looking for that cannonball, not able to find that. No super big punishes though. As I say that, Llama with a nice neutral stick picks up the sword. Can't he get the edge guard? Remaining that stage, waiting for Sandstorm to get up. Almost gets the Sair. Nice pick up. The D-Light Sair is going to take the first stock for I'm Llama. Oh, apparently Parapod was on the wrong mic. Okay. So Llama still with this lead here with the Sair. The D-Light Sair connects. Okay. Sandstorm still with all of his options, able to make it back to the wall. Llama still chilling. Oh, the down sig connects. Looking for that swoop on the side sig. Llama with a quick dodge. Nice nair coming up from Sandstorm. The recovery off the top. Llama taking that first stock. Llama looking for these Sairs, looking for these side sigs. Not able to find them quite yet. Sandstorm with a spot dodge on that Sair gets the neutral light punish. Both of them just looking to confirm the exhaust recovery, punishing Llama's blaster nair. So close, man. That's the thing though, even if they trade back and forth, Sandstorm is just going to be able to build up way more damage than Llama because of the defense and just how hard Lance hits. He is on the Scythe now, but once again, that is obviously his comfort weapon. Probably not something you'd rather him be on. Whoa, the GC Sultan off stage right in front of his face like that.
From game 1 to game 2, definitely it's possible for Llama, but right now Sandstorm is going to secure that first stock going into the second game.
Punishing them so optimally with his lance. Llama definitely finding nice damage here. The sidelight connects. No punish on the ground pound. The weapon throw up, but Llama catching the jump with the Sair and taking that stock actually.
Yeah, not too far off. We're definitely seeing some patience from Llama, picking and choosing those battles. You got to be patient, especially against that rocket lance. You see it, that dash dance from Sandstorm, very proficient with it.
But it's not looking good, man. Keeps him up in the air like this. He looks for those recoveries, but the side stick does connect and takes the game. He's definitely on the back pedal here, so maybe this could be the answer, him pulling it out. Although Sandstorm with such a dominant start here, almost putting Llama in the red. Nothing answered by Llama yet. Sandstorm literally completely untouched. This could be a 0 to death potentially. And the second side stick after the first side stick of flawless stock. Sandstorm floating back to the stage with these exhaust recoveries, using the double nair recovery off the top. And that is going to be a 3-0. It's going down. Obviously, we know in the past, Java had his breakout performance, beating Sandstorm and a bunch of other good players. But obviously, times has passed. They've fought each other multiple times, but it's always still cool to see them fight because, you know, they go back. They have that history against each other kind of a thing. And although it is Moose Wars, it is just a community tournament, it's not a major, it is still very cool to see, and I am super excited to cast this set. Not too much of a damage lead, but Sandstorm is starting off strong in this game 1.
You know, I'm just out here wondering what happened to the Artemis.
Touch the stage really when he keeps him up in the air, and the GC side stick coming out from the greatsword is going to pick Java up. The downer connects. Can he make it back to the stage? He does touch the wall. These double weapon throw into GCD. Like, what a crazy option coming out from Sandstorm. So perfect in that situation. And that is going to be a stock lead for Sandstorm. Oh my goodness.
Java has the opportunity here throughout. 2 Sairs right now, survives that, but doesn't survive the weapon toss. That will do it. Sandstorm taking game number 1, but not too far off. Java definitely had the opportunity right there at that end, throughout 2 Sairs in a row. Unfortunately, did not connect to any of them. Sandstorm was just able to connect that attack, sending him flying, and then of course that weapon toss will secure that final stock. Game number 3 here. Sandstorm opting not to switch, and I think that's very wise. You know, anybody could have taken that last game.
Java on the sword. Seems like most of the work he has done has been with Hammer, not to downgrade his sword, although beautiful downers coming out from Sandstorm on the great sword into the weapon throw, and potentially the best player in the world, and he is running away with it. Another great sword string, catching that gravity cancel, taking him off the right side of the stage. Just like that, Sandstorm only in the yellow. This has turned to a potential 3-stock situation for Sandstorm.
That's it.
But dipping low. Oh, does make it back to the wall with that downer. Sandstorm was ready to swoop him up with the neutral sig, but Java was also ready to get around that. Very nice plays. The damage deficit is still there. He is in red on his last stock. Sandstorm's Qatar recovery does connect. The neutral A recovery is going to take it to stock for Sandstorm. 2-1 in the set. Game number 5. It seems like almost they grab the same weapons every time. First, Sandstorm being the greatsword, Java being the hammer. But this time we actually see Java getting rid of the hammer, picking up that sword. And it seems like it's working out pretty well. Landing this Sarah, putting Sandstorm about in the orange. The wake up GC down like ground pound. But Sandstorm gets the 3-piece trade because Java used his dodge for that. So he actually still has the damage lead. He is going to be hitting a bit harder on the Bodvar. Both of them in the red looking for these confirms. Java with the first stock, the hammer Sir. Even once again, both of these players just keeping it so close this entire set, and you love to see that. Sandstorm picking up that recovery, Java barely whiffing that Sair. Look for another one. Nice GC stomp, Nair into the recovery. But it seems like almost every time Java finds something nice, Sandstorm has a response to it. They're just trading back and forth. Nice stomp, Sair, nice recovery, nice weapon throw, and that is it. Sandstorm now on his last stock on the winner's side.
Java gotta chill though. He's throwing those out like crazy. Sandstorm can punish him in an instant. He's been lucky so far. Still, anything will kill right now. Oh, both players off the edge, looking for the finish. Great recovery there. Doesn't do anything. Oh my gosh!
But right now, all are going to have to be at play as we are striking maps. Yes, Alex sticking with the Nash. And Sandstorm with the Mako. Sandstorm actually spending quite a good amount of time on this Mako.
All right, Anonymous Alex finally picking up the hammer as the starting weapon of this game. And of course, Sandstorm on the greatsword, the one that has been dominating Oh my god! I didn't expect that D-Light to reach so far, and he went for a GC D6. And I thought that was going to land there. If that landed, I think that would have been the kill, considering how far out they were. Anonymous Alex already on pretty dark orange, approaching red. But it's safe to say that Sandstorm isn't too far behind. Let's see what he can do here. Throwing away the guitars. He wants this greatsword he's trying to get. He's trying to get this decent kill up against Anonymous Alex. But let's see what he can do. This greatsword. Oh, just barely missing the sidelight. Anonymous Alex trying to go for these NSIGs. All of a sudden, they're both on red, but the GC sidelight coming out of Sandstorm, being able to take the first stock off of Anonymous Alex. Dominating over Anonymous Alex right now. The D-Light Sair. Trying to go for another Sair. And yet another whole stock lead, and even more. Okay, he managed to make it back onto stage. But he has a whole stock lead. Could this be a 2-stock? Just barely missing the side sig. Just barely missing the ground pound. Just barely missing the D-sig in Sandstorm. Oh, that is unfortunate for Anonymous Alex.
That dare happened so fast, but Sandstorm is actually letting Alex take him back to Demon Island, so definitely the character swap is going to help as opposed for small sword and board as opposed to big sword and big hammer.
Yeah, and let's see what Sandstorm can do with this slight lead. It's not much of a difference from the Magyar. I mean, it's different SIGs, of course, it's a different character, but let's see what he can do. He now has sword instead of the hammer. Oh! Sandstorm with the side SIG kill.
Honestly, we were spending way too much time thinking about the weapon change for the character change. One thing we completely forgot, that it was actually probably a lot about those SIGs. Those SIGs, even though some of them can feel not as fast as some of the fastest, you know, they take a good second to start up, but still, They are quite powerful. They cover some very good range. So these are some good SIGs. Sandstorm making quite a good turn to these SIGs. Alex starting to struggle a bit. As we're just going to have to see how the set weighs. Sandstorm with some very good offstage plays, but still not an early KO.
Coming up from there. If Sandstorm never saved him, that would have been the death right there.
I mean, telling by the damage, Sandstorm, I mean, with all of his mind, is going to try to take this to a Game 5, and that's definitely where it seems to be swaying. And as we are going to a Game 5, man, I love Game 5s. We were talking way too much about the weapons, but it was actually probably the sit. Oh, never mind. It probably just was the weapons.
He's not joking around
It
anymore.
probably just was the weapons.
Oh, nah.
Alex starting to pull ahead with a very slight damage lead, but the very slight damage lead could almost be a stock lead. Sandstorm now noticing that since Alex is in KO color, going to be going for some pretty big commits. The SIG falls through.
Oh,
what the hell is what?
My
Instead
God.
of going for the ground pound, what? It's
Oh,
still
he's trying to
nothing that a
extend it
quick
as much
KO
as he
can
can.
have. Oh yeah, you can see Anonymous is just trying to just keep Sandstorm as far away as possible, and that's why Sandstorm get any closer. That's the stock being revoked right from his grasp. Oh!
And the weapon storm coming out of Sandstorm. And he has the hammer on hand. No!
Recovery's gonna send the dream home!
With
Plucking
the
it out of
recovery kill.
Dedication these guys shows is absolutely monumental, and it speaks to why they are professionals playing, because they've put that time in. There's a lot of people in chat, a lot of people in comments right on Twitter that are always asking, oh, how do I get better? How do I get better? Look at these guys.
The Caspian? Okay, we keep talking about different characters coming out from Sandstorm, and we're seeing the Caspian pick. I don't think we've seen that at all this tourney. I could be wrong, but I don't believe we have any starting off pretty strong. Picking up these gauntlets, we definitely know Sandstorm for the gauntlets, probably more of a comfort weapon for him. They're looking pretty good. It was looking a little grim there for a second. Nice spacing, avoiding that bomb strap side sig, but another one connects back-to-back signatures, man.
But if I'm Sandstorm, man, my sweat towel's on the other side of the room. I don't need it. It's irrelevant, you know? Going through this careless.
That killed. So Sandstorm probably knows a lot, you know, of the information that Mordex players want to go for. He knows who the options, but Pierre's still looking pretty good. He's surprising me here a lot on this Mordex pick against Sandstorm. Both 1-1 in the red. The side stick is going to connect from Sandstorm, and it is going to kill so incredibly early all the way across the stage.
First stock here, and there it goes as Sandstorm lands 2 stocks in a row with that side sig, once in the last match to finish it off here. And then that first stock there. Pierre's doing great for himself, but he really needs to secure this knockout here, Sniped. It's looking a little tight.
Not going to be quite enough. The D, like the GC side stick wake up coming from Sandstorm, taking out all of Pierre's options, and he doesn't make it back to the stage.
Man.
The Mind Gimp.
He just avoids side sigs, which he didn't do. Never mind, Sniped.
The side sig bomb strap, yeah, didn't avoid the things he needed to. I do think that's what Caspian has going for him. As I say that, the down sig does connect. Another down signature is going to connect. The Neutralite catches the dodge, hits the Sair, gets the free edge guard. Doesn't even have to make any hitbox happen because Pierre just can't make it back to the stage. Doesn't have those options.
Right? If your opponent doesn't know what you're doing, then they're donezo. Pierre falling to his death there, looking at Sandstorm, be like, man, I don't even care anymore, man. Just go ahead, man. You know, you can't kick a dog while he's down like this. Come on, man.
Yeah, Pierre's just over it.
Wow.
We're going to see.
Quick.
Oh, yeah, 3-stock lead just like that. Yes, sir. We got Sandstorm versus Bomi. And this is not even in the winner's side, man. This is to move on to Grand Final. So someone is going to be taken out here, whether that's Bomi or whether that's Sandstorm. We're going to have to see here. Taking it to Game 1, Small Brawlhalla. Sandstorm still rocking that Caspian pick to my surprise, and Bomi holding it down on that Nyx.
You know, Snipe, I just realized Sandstorm's just using Caspian not because he's a good character, because he's got the esports colors V2 on him. That's the only reason. It has to be. And look at him trading back SIGs right here. That's got to be something that, hey man, remember that time where you missed your down, so I throw a bomb at you?
Definitely 100%. These two have a lot of chemistry, and not only are they teammates, but they're both like the top players in this game. And on top of that, they're both really good friends. So yeah, 100% I could see that happening. Just teasing each other, having a good time. They are good friends, but at the same time, they're the top competitors in the game, and they're both out to win. So at the end of the day, they're not going to let their friendship or that synergy or that chemistry get in the way of working their way to that dub. And right here, right now, Sandstorm is so incredibly damaged, but it's looking like Boomy just cannot find this kill quite yet. Sandstorm unarmed. The Sarah is not even going to do it on this Caspian. And he does make it back to the wall, looking for some sort of weapon. Boomy keeping him off every single weapon spawn coming. Sandstorm almost getting wall slipped, and Neutralite Sarah is going to take Sandstorm's last stock. I'm wondering if Sandstorm's going to go, all right, you put me on this back pedal. I'm going to show you, I play side. I'm going to show you how it's done. And Boomy with a nice sideline recovery off the top, taking that first stock. But what do you think the chances of that happening are? Caught that recovery. Looked like he was trying to stall to hold on to some sort of dodge that he just did not have there. And the Boomy just took his stock. So that is going to be another lead. Looking pretty good for the Boomster here. Although Sandstorm does get that Sarah on the right side of the stage. And that big downstage edge guard. What? That last hitbox must have barely clipped him. Looked like that barely hit, but that is going to be a complete stock reset for Sandstorm.
Away takes another one of the sides.
Another side sig, just like that. That is crazy, man.
Boomy taking Sandstorm to the bottom of the stage, with Sandstorm able to wrap around underneath and get back safely. I say safely, but Boomy gets that neutral air there into a ground dog.
Wow.
No, Sandstorm. That's absolutely nutty, man. It seems so meta breaking for all these pros to be throwing out sigs like this, and hitting is the crazy part. It must be the character selection. They're making sure the sigs they pick are ones that are going to hit no matter what. Sandstorm has to do a lot of work here on his second stock to make sure he doesn't go into his last stock with a huge deficit. He could even, bring the lead up here and knock Boomy out. Boomy's got those blasters, which haven't been doing as well against Sandstorm compared to the Scythe. Sandstorm has a complete download on Boomy's Gats, apparently. He's glizzy-proof. He's wearing his Kevlar, making sure he's all good. Boomy's not able to get that recovery. Sandstorm with the bombs. Nice to meet you. And it doesn't quite hit neutral air over the edge. And the bombs, once again, to look at these bombs. That's 2 games in a row at the very, very end of things. Boomy's going for that disco neutral sig on Scythe. He's not hitting it. Sandstorm's getting massive punishes after dodging with side sig. I am confused why Boomy still goes for these options. Oh, what a clean punish snipe. Oh my gosh, the side sig to punish the long active frames of that D-Light. And when I say long, it's long.
Break between the Boomstorm, and I was wrong, man. He's holding it down, sticking with the same characters. Sandstorm on that Caspian pick, Boomy on that Nyx, and he's starting off with the first little blaster hits here, and nothing crazy. Winning those first neutral engagements are always a good thing, though. 100%. The dare, the downlight, the Sair, going for that neutral sig would have been huge. Sandstorm reacting to that really well. Nice down sig is going to hit on the stage. The side sig right off of it. Boomy hovering over the edge does get hit by that. Both in the orange now. I think Sandstorm's guitars are definitely impressing me. They're looking pretty good. He is using them a lot more than I thought he would.
Limping elk or whatever. Or moose, sorry. AJ, my bad, man. Moose, not elk. But it's absolutely crazy to see. And there, if he hadn't have followed up with that recovery, Boomy did use his dodge and he could have pounced. He switches it up back and forth, whether he's going to bait something or if he's just going to absolutely punish you immediately. Speaking of, in this little rant, he's gotten 2 KOs on Boomy. He's looking terrific in this sudden death match between 2 good friends in the Brawlhalla community.
So I'm just using his whole Caspian kit just because he knows he can. The D-Light side-light connects, true combo. Boomy in the red, swapping over to the side. The side sig is going to take Boomy out. And Sandstorm winning that set against Moist. Boomy moving on, man.
Oh, man. What an actually crazy chain event. Sandstorm moving up. That side segment did so much for him. Holy moly.
Yeah.
Oh, Sandstorm, look at that massive damage.
And he's so good at these side sigs defensive. It's crazy. It's like all of his kill options. Just makes it look so effortless off the right side of the stage, just like that. Quick little bomb strap. After just slowly building up this damage, runs in, picks up the guitars.
Man, the Dope Brains merch back in the day, the D-Light Sarah merch is so good. And Sandstorm has such a prime opportunity to get knocked out by that side stick and get fist taunted by Java there. at least after this tournament where he does the same thing in BCX, I'd buy one.
No way! No way! So if Sandstorm, or excuse me, if Java wins another game, we might see a big swap coming out from Storm. But that is to be told, running it back on the Mammoth Fortress once again. Grabbing the hammer. It is Sandstorm we are talking about here, though, so definitely he has to be extremely careful of that. Sandstorm on the stage, looking to get this confirmed. Nice little overextension coming from Storm, but goes for the D-Light recovery and does even up those stocks. The side stick over the edge is definitely pretty brutal on the hammer. He's looking for it. Sandstorm did avoid it narrowly. Unfortunately, the D-Light ground pounding is going to drop there. Sandstorm is going to punish it with that Qatar side stick, and it is going to kill. Along top of that, the force is just so monumental. I'm really surprised Java went for that Stomp Bear, and just like that, the side stick coming out from Sandstorm is going to take the game 2-1.
Sandstorm again and again throwing out these SIGs, Java getting hit by at least a third of them. Another side SIG there, sending Java far left. Sandstorm cycles out to these gauntlets. He's going to put up a little bit of an edge guard with that down SIG there. God, I've said SIG so many times. Somebody get a counter. And he's just looking for this kill confirm to lock up the reset. Oh man, Snipe, it is the final form of the tournament. I am pumped. Man, that was too funny. That was like looking at a clown throwing a pie on someone's face. Dude, that was so good. Just the instant side sig, bro. That's got to be a tilter for Java, man. It wouldn't tilt me if I was in there. But then again, Java's got some cemented tournament standings. The guy's got a solid mental, I am sure. Sandstorm's able to close up this first stock.
He's abusing the signature kit so well. Oh, caught the dodge here. It's going to be a lot of damage. It's actually going to be a kill in orange off one dodge read.
Damn sure well know he's going to go for another one in about 2 seconds. There it is!
I heard it there. I heard it. Man was right on top of him, still throwing it out, and there's another one, and it takes the game. Oh my goodness. Taking it to the small Mammoth Fortress once again, or just normal Mammoth Fortress. Sandstorm on these guitars, Java picking up that hammer there, finding these stairs. One thing I love about Java is how well he utilizes the grounded hammer nair. He'll kind of dash jump and then immediately just kind of throw out the active hitbox of nair across the ground. And it seems to be working pretty well here. He does have the lead.
Yeah, that is super nairs. Clean. Sandstorm doesn't pick up a weapon and side sig him instantly. Never mind. Never mind.
As Tim says that, Sandstorm picking up the weapon, side taking him instantly, just like that.
I should say
brain
side
in your head now.
It's just like, oh, Sandstorm side sig. What's happening? Oh, Sandstorm side sig in.
Oh, we're gonna see it here soon. Oh no, we see the sideline recovery off the top. Sandstorm taking Java down to his last stock there. Not seeing a side sig, surprisingly.
The stomp and nothing. Neutral or hit. Java going for the side air. Both characters now in kill percent as any signature knocks out here. It's just a question whether there's going to be a side sig, or a side sig, or a side sig, or a side sig, or a side sig.
He almost got the side sig there, man. He was looking for it. Is he going to get the side? I feel like that's the question. Is Sandstorm going to get the side sig? Or oh, he is going to get the side sig, and it gets the KO.
It's not a question of if.
Yeah, never mind.
It's a question of when. That's so good. Java is in his potential tournament game here. Sandstorm picks up his side siggers. Not knocking out Java. What is this? Oh, Sandstorm saved him with that nair.
Yeah.
He killed him with that nair.
Yeah, that's crazy. There we go. There's the confirm. Says, doesn't even matter. I'll get under you, use this nair, bring you back up, bring you back down.
Through this entire tournament. And we keep on seeing it again and again. Sandstorm got his side six, but Java's got his weapon throws. We just need to have a little bit more of a off-stage Sandstorm to give Java the opportunity to get those types of KOs here. But he has to take 2 stocks down with his final stock. Otherwise, he takes second place, the first L of the tournament, and nobody wants to see that. I want to see Java conquer, summit the mountain that is Caspian side sig, and take the dub against Sandstorm here. It'd be a poetic epic, you know?
Sandstorm with the Sarah back to stage with the gauntlet neutral sig. We see him spinning around in the middle of the stage. I think he's feeling himself the side sig to finish it out. It had to be done. The 3-0, the side signature coming out from Sandstorm. Sandstorm is gonna be your Moose Wars Halloween Havoc champion.